There's a silent pressure we all live under. To be liked, to be understood, to be approved of. So we check, we compare, we react. A glance, a comment, a post online, and suddenly we're questioning ourselves, doubting our worth, chasing validation from people who barely know us. But here's the truth. Most of what people say, think, and expect of you isn't about you. It's a mirror of their own fears, stories, and limitations. The Buddha understood this deeply. He walked through slander, accusation, and rejection, untouched, not because he didn't care, but because he saw clearly. He taught that freedom doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from not letting the world control your mind. And one of the most powerful steps on that path is learning to ignore. Ignore, not out of pride or numbness, but as an act of spiritual clarity. In this video, we'll explore how ignoring the noise of others is not avoidance. It's awakening. This is the wisdom of walking away, not from people, but from the illusions that keep you bound. Let's begin. 1. The Buddha was ignored too. We often think spiritual peace means being liked, respected, agreed with. But look at the Buddha. He was misunderstood, rejected by some of his own people. He challenged the powerful, he broke traditions, and for that, many turned against him. Even close disciples questioned him. Political leaders mocked him. Other spiritual teachers tried to discredit him. But he didn't react with outrage. He didn't defend or explain. He simply walked on, unshaken, unbothered, rooted in what was true, not what was popular. The Buddha once said, "As a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame." You're not here to be approved of. You're here to be awake. So if you feel ignored, misunderstood, dismissed, good, you're in excellent company. 2. You don't owe anyone a reaction. They want your attention. They want your reaction, because attention is power, and power feeds the ego. But the Buddha taught something radical. You don't owe your reaction to anyone. You don't owe your peace to their chaos. Every time you react in anger, defensiveness, or fear, you hand your mind over to someone else. But when you pause, when you breathe, when you choose silence over struggle, you take that power back. There's a profound dignity in restraint, in not needing the last word, in watching the storm and not becoming it. This isn't passivity, it's mastery. The Buddha compared a wise person to a lotus, growing in muddy waters, but untouched by the mud. So when someone provokes you, remember, you're not their puppet, you're not their reflection, you are your own stillness, and stillness cannot be insulted. 3. The noise is not the truth. Most of what people say about you has nothing to do with you. It's their lens, their story, their pain, their unresolved fear speaking out loud. One person praises you, another criticizes. Same action, same you. So what changed? Not the truth, just the noise. The Buddha taught that the mind clings to opinions like a drowning person clings to driftwood. We mistake commentary for reality. But once you see this, you start to ask deeper questions. Whose voice am I hearing in my head right now? Is it wisdom, or just someone else's wound echoing inside me? You don't have to carry their noise. You don't have to turn their confusion into your burden. Silence it, not with anger, but with understanding. Because the truth needs no defense, it only needs to be lived. Fourth, the power of inner detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're not controlled. It means your peace isn't on sale to every opinion, insult, or demand. In Buddhist teachings, this detachment is upekkha, a deep, calm equanimity that comes from clarity. You see clearly what's yours, what isn't, what matters, what doesn't, and so you let go. You don't chase validation, you don't beg to be seen, you don't shrink yourself to fit someone else's comfort. You become light, not heavy with proving, pleasing, defending. You stop explaining your soul to people committed to misunderstanding it. The Buddha said, "Let none find fault with others. Let none see the omissions and commissions of others, but let one see one's own acts, done and undone." When you let go of needing others to get you, you begin to truly meet yourself. And that is freedom. 5. You were not born to perform. Since we were children, we've been taught to perform. Be polite, be liked, fit in, stand out, be impressive. We contort ourselves to avoid disapproval. We seek applause to feel alive. But the Buddha offered a radical invitation. Stop performing. Start waking up. When you live to be seen, you forget how to see clearly. You lose the path. You abandon the still, silent knowing within you. True freedom begins the moment you stop living by other people's scripts. You don't need to be louder. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to shine for someone else's comfort. Just be real, be rooted, be awake. When you no longer seek approval, you return to your true nature, peaceful, clear, unshakable. 6. Freedom begins where comparison ends. Every day you see it, the curated lives, the silent competition, the endless scroll of better, more, faster. And before you know it, you're no longer living, you're comparing. Why are they ahead? Why am I not enough yet? What am I doing wrong? But here's the trap. Comparison plants the seed of dissatisfaction. It teaches you to measure your life with someone else's ruler, to chase shadows that were never meant for you. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from craving. And comparison is one of the most seductive cravings of all, craving their life, their timing, their approval. But you are not them. Your life was never supposed to unfold like theirs. When you finally stop comparing, you begin living. You return to your breath, your step, your moment. That's where your real life begins, not in someone else's lane, not in someone else's timeline, but right here, in the sacred space of your own becoming. 7. Silence is a shield, not surrender. We live in a world addicted to noise, arguments, opinions, debates, judgments. Everyone wants to be right. Everyone wants the last word. But the Buddha saw through all of it. He knew silence can be more powerful than 1,000 words, because it's not silence of ignorance, it's silence of understanding. When you're deeply rooted in wisdom, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to correct every lie. You don't need to defend your truth to people who aren't ready to hear it. Some people aren't seeking truth. They're seeking reaction, and that's a fire you don't need to feed. Instead, do what the Buddha did. Let your stillness become your voice. This kind of silence is not passive, it's intentional, it's steady. It's the silence of a mountain, unmoved by the winds that pass. Let them shout. Let them misunderstand. You are not here to win arguments, you are here to awaken. And remember this, the Buddha didn't argue, he didn't prove, he simply lived the truth and let the silence speak louder than words.